Hey guys, I am in Góis, Portugal, in central Portugal. This is the biggest motorcycle rally in central Portugal. Today we're going to go around, look around the bikes and see what we can figure out about this place. Let's go. There's the Portuguese. He's riding his Suzuki Katana, and of course that is my Honda Africa Twin next to it. Very beautiful area. It took a while to come here, but look at that. They're paddle boating, there's picnics down there, and surprisingly there's like a lot of police presence. You know, that's the one thing about Portugal. You'll find these like tiny little bikes that are still being ridden. This is probably one of the coolest parking spots here for the motorcycles. And look at this. This is a Honda Integra, so that's the bigger scooter that they have here. We should have parked here. And this little thing, oh, that's an electric one. The NMAX, we have two of them here. That's actually one of the more popular scooters, along with the Honda PCX. Like, here's the Honda PCX. But you know, the Portuguese, they have good taste in motorcycles. Man.
The festival is here?
On the,
to the left.
To the left.
oh, ali para a esquerda.
It's a queue.
A queue for what?
Is it a queue to get in?
Oh, I guess it is to go in. Oh, you know what? You pay to go in here. Yeah, tickets. Oh, this is quite interesting that they have the ticket sales. 35 euros is the general ticket, and then they have a 15 euro daily ticket. And here's all the bikes. Hey, look at this, another Africa Twin. Here's another Africa Twin, different color.
Might sound like a funny thing to say. I kind of might want to have a look inside, because to be honest with you,
To see if it's worth it?
I've already filled my boots, really.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I kind of would like to see what, is it worth it? That's what you're saying.
Yeah. Like, I wonder if going inside just means I have to pay more for drinks. A lot of guys...
You probably don't want to stick around with these guys are drinking. And look at this one. I think this is the new Africa Twin. 1100 cc's. But personally, I like the old Africa Twin here. Look at this thing. That is in great shape. That's beautiful. And of course, more Teneres. This bike is, oh my God. A Vespa. É tua? Here's an Africa Twin. He just said that's the best looking Vespa in the entire rally. It turns out it's his. 400. Of course, this bike is just everywhere. It's a little bit grotesque. Every time I see it, it's like, oh, another dentist. No offense to dentists. Life after death. So this is a Vespa. I don't know what year it is, but custom airbrush, Union Jack painted. What else do we got here? Aha, Veradero. This is quite a nice bike. I was thinking about getting a Veradero, but they are a little bit more expensive. They of course use the Honda Super Hawk engine. The Africa Twin is the V-Twin. It's a little bit of simpler engine. And look at this thing. The real show is outside, guys. This is a Yamaha TDM 850. They do make the 900. You have the crash bars. I mean, some of these bikes, they're in such good shape. I know I should be more interested in the newer ones, but this one's pretty darn good looking, except I have to give it a fail on the beak. You can't beak a Yamaha. That's just science. So the Yamaha NMAX is one of the more popular ones, along with the PCX from Honda. DB, nice. Here's another 750. Africa Twin, original. This is the OG. The OG. You know, the license plates are different than mine, so this one must be a more modern one. It's got the original exhaust, good tires. He's got crash bars. This is something I don't get. People put on their bikes, because rocks barely ever hit the headlights, but it looks like it's got a high side problem.
His indicators look different to yours as well.
Oh yeah. Looks like his indicators have also broken off. Look at that. He's got the nice gold bars. Only 61,000 kilometers. Aftermarket seat. Most likely it's 161,000 kilometers. Oh yeah.
All the big four have put out a good solid 125 now, haven't they? Like I quite like the Yamaha, is it the MT 125?
Yeah, the MT.
And they can do 120 kilometres an hour as well, which is amazing. I know they can't get there quickly, but to me that's always been my problem with the 125s is they haven't got enough to get you out of trouble, but these are dead light, aren't they?
Yeah.
A 125cc to 500cc is such a big jump. Do you think that maybe a 250cc would be a little bit better? Because I think 125s are underpowered. You can't get yourself out of trouble. And the dynamic when you move from I know myself, I did my test on a 600 on a Hornet. It was a Hornet or a Bandit, I can't remember, 600. And it was such a jump in dynamics and power from the 125 to the 600. What do you think?
Well, you know, having owned quite a few Ninja 250s, I love the 250, but the 500 is still a very easy bike to ride. Like if you twist the throttle on a 500, it's not like you're gonna get pinned. The only time you get crazy horsepower is that when you start getting into the super sports. So in the United States, you'll get 250s, 500s, and people get them for a month, sell them, and then they'll just climb on a super sport, and that's when they get in trouble. This bike is one of the most popular bikes I've seen. Even in the US, you cannot get it. It's just so overpriced.
But the problem for me is this bike I love, but look, what's the problem in this bike?
You'll do fine.
You think so?
Yeah, you'll do fine.
But see, look at the difference here.
It is
You know, this was, I believe, wasn't this the fastest production bike in the world?
until the Hayabusa.
Yeah.
And then when the Hayabusa came, this one became much cheaper.
Yeah.
But this one is considered the gentleman's sport tourer.
I'm a gentleman.
Yes. And
You know, this was, I believe, wasn't this the fastest production bike in the world?
until the Hayabusa.
Yeah.
And then when the Hayabusa came, this one became much cheaper.
Yeah.
But this one is considered the gentleman's sport tourer.
I'm a gentleman.
Yes. And I think you should get one of these, but they are incredibly fast. And also another thing is that you're going to be wearing out tires like crazy.
Yeah.
And chains. I mean, I keep going why would I get a Blackbird when I can get a Pan-European?
It's not quite as long and low, but you can see the Hayabusa. The Hayabusa was definitely modelled on this bicycle. Motorcycle.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says. The Hayabusa was definitely
Oh yeah.
to take on.
From the front, you can tell exactly what they were doing.
Yeah. I mean, the Hayabusa is more aggressive, isn't it?
Look at that. They put LED
Yeah.
blinkers on there.
Yeah, it's not for sale, is it?
No.
This is someone who spends money on their motorbike. No, what do you call it? No zip ties on this.
No. But yeah, the 700.
Oh no, here we go. There had to be something. Yeah, you're not a proper motorcyclist,
Look
are you?
at this.
Unless you you've got to have some little bit of bodge job.
And of course, he's got the
Yeah, he doesn't care what
The
anyone
padlock.
thinks of him when he's leaving. When he's arriving.
from the front. It looks great.
And listen, I know a big YouTuber like Dan the Fireman's not likely to watch the likes of me.
But the ram mount, come on, you know, it's not good enough, is it?
No.
Not anymore.
That's what I got on my 95.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Anymore, we know.
But he's got the 90-degree valve stems.
Like the KTM, but what I didn't know until today is that every fifth bike in Portugal is a KTM. I've seen more KTMs today than I've seen in my whole life. Maybe that's just a Góis thing. What do you think? What do you think of the KTM?
Everything I heard about the KTM is that it's a good bike, but it has reliability problems.
Something else I've been impressed by is the amount of scooters that I've seen here today. One thing you'll notice in Portugal, and I believe in other places in the world, is that if you wave to people riding scooters, they don't wave back. But I'm sure they would argue that a lot of motorcyclists don't wave at them. Well, I do. I wave at anyone on two wheels, but yeah, they don't seem to wave back. But there doesn't seem to be any discrimination against them. They're here, they're parked, just, they haven't been like relegated to some spot near the back or anything, and nothing wrong with the scooter. I've had some of the best times of my life riding scooters. And this is the bad boy here. This is my next motorcycle will probably be a Yamaha TDM, although I'm more interested in the 900. If I found an 850 at the right price in this type of condition, I'd certainly be happy to ride away on that. I think, as I've said, any of you who've watched my other videos, when I bought my my motorcycle, it was really a heart decision over a head decision. I'm probably what they would call an 80-20 rider, 80% road, 20% off-road. Can't do a lot of off-roading on the Suzuki. This is the sort of bike that would give me the chance to, if I wanted to get off-road and do a little bit of trail riding, you know, it's the right bike for that. And I personally think they look fantastic. What do you guys think of the look of this one? Yeah, obviously this is a aftermarket paint job. I don't think I've ever seen one before with that colour. But I think it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. Let's keep going, see what we can see. Yeah. Verdadeiro. Another bike that sort of fits the bill for that kind of.
What about this Vespa?
The Vespa, yeah. Well, who doesn't like a Vespa? I also like Iron Maiden, so it's kind of doing it for me. The Vespa, yeah. I mean, the prices have gone through the roof on the old Vespas now. Picking up something like this in this condition, I would imagine would still be a few thousand euros. But yeah, I would like one. It's the type of bike that I could probably buy for my wife and convince her to ride it. And then when she's not riding it, I can have a little bit of a ride around as well. And just tell everyone, you know, it's my wife's ride. That's my excuse for riding it. What's this? Little 50cc Aprilia motorbike. I'm not too sure what I'm really looking at here.
Two-stroke.
The two-stroke for sure. Yeah, this is the sort of bike that your grandparents will complain about, going up the lanes behind their home. You're riding bikes like ours, Mr. Squid, you probably forget, because they feel like big bikes, don't they? And you probably forget how small they are. And it's when you see some of these more 80s aesthetics, kind of old sports bikes, up against these newer big bikes, that you realise just how small they are.
Yeah.
You know? How tall are you?
5'9".
Yeah, I'm much taller than you. Don't show them that I'm standing on this curb, okay? Yeah, no, I'm 5'8", 5'8.5" on a good day. But yeah, some of these big bikes,
Like the Africa Twin, like would you ever ride one of these?
yeah, well, I'd ride it for sure. I'd ride it. I mean, I imagine people do say that after a while of riding them, you do get comfortable on them. But I mean, when I look at like this Africa Twin over here, just my first thought is it just looks too tall for me. But you know, when you see a little kid riding a big bike, that's what I feel I'd look like. What have we got here? This is
Oh, that's the Piaggio.
right. So
MP3.
yeah. So does this actually count as a tricycle? I mean, could you ride this on a car license?
I don't think you can. No, but it looks like a tricycle.
So you know, like the Can-Ams, for example,
Yeah, those are car license.
you can drive them on a car license. Yeah. I don't know if that would work.
This one's a motorcycle license.
Right.
But I know the U.S. they do the exact same thing with Can-Am. It's like a car license. That's why they're popular.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they have the Polaris Slingshot. You ever heard of that one?
Yeah. You know, the thing for me is, as I say, each to their own. But you know what? Don't be scared of getting the bike license, guys. If you can drive a car and you can ride a bike, you can pass the bike test. Just get it done. I did my full big bike test when I was 50 years old, and I passed it for the first time. It's just a matter of doing the training, doing the study. Like all I did for the what do you call it, the theory test, for example, and I had to do the theory test in Portuguese, guys. And I don't speak Portuguese, but all I did was I just practiced it until I knew all the answers. So when I went to the test, I knew there was going to be no surprise. I knew the answer to every single question in the question bank. And so it was very easy. The same as the test. I just kept going out doing lessons with the guys from the training company until I knew how to do all the you know, what I have to do, figure of 8 without putting my foot down, a U-turn on a hill. And the rest of it is just managing not to speed, managing not to fall off. You know,
Much harder than the US. The US is very simple.
right. Well, I think it was pretty simple here, to be honest. Those manoeuvres, I mean, I think I do agree with a lot of people who say what's kind of annoying about the manoeuvres is that in the real world you don't really do it. You don't really do U-turns on hills and all this sort of stuff. You normally find safe places to turn your bike around, don't you? But that said, a couple of hours of practice and you can do them without thinking. If I had to do a figure of 8 now without putting my foot down, maybe not. But on the day, I'd been training every day for a month beforehand. So it was easy, and that's all there is to it. Anyone can do it. If you can ride a bike, you can pass the test. So just get it done. Sort of saying to myself before that I kind of had my own prejudice where I expected it to be a real Harley feast, you know.
But Harleys are not very popular here, right?
Not really. I mean, people ride them, but they're definitely
They're very expensive.
well, they're very expensive with, I think, parts and I don't know.
And there's the Goldwing, the new Goldwing. Look at this one, Sox V5.
But I think it's interesting to see how they haven't thought to. I mean, maybe it would be a bit more of that inside, I don't know, but they haven't kind of divided up the bikes. These are just parked here, and then they're right next to this. Another lovely bike, right? ZZR 1400. I'll just pronounce the Zs correctly for you, rather than the incorrect way that Americans say it. The days of scooters being underpowered commuter machines are really gone. I mean, look at this. This is really a touring bike, isn't it? I could easily imagine spending a few hours riding to the coast on this, and I think it looks cool.
Yeah, it looks awesome. I mean, look at that cockpit.
Look at the pannier racks here. This isn't made for, you know, poodling to the supermarket on, is it?
No, this looks great.
You know, this is.
You know, it's different because this has got a chain.
Yeah.
Scooters, even 650s, have belt drives.
Yeah.
The rear differential.
Yeah.
But this one.
What engine is it from? Do you know? What engine is it from? The 750. Is it from the?
I wonder if it's the NC 750.
Yeah. So I bet it goes. I bet this thing really, really moves.
Because, you know, the engine has to face forward.
Yeah.
The NC is the only one in Honda that faces forward.
Yeah, so look at that. It's got adjustable windscreen. What are they, heated grips?
Look at
It's a touring bike.
crash bars
Yeah.
on the foot pegs.
It's a touring bike. It's not just a touring bike. This is meant to go off-road a bit,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I think it's the...
It's almost like an adventure bike.
Yeah. And, you know, they make the ATV 150 scooter.
Push start.
I can see you riding this.
Yeah, I could see me riding this, yeah.
Parking brake.
What I like about a bike like this as well is it's something I feel like once my wife gets her license, I feel like I could see her riding something like this as well. You know, it's kind of like we know what it's capable of, but I think most people looking at this would see it as much more approachable than a standard motorcycle, wouldn't they? But what a machine! I like it.
You know, it's funny that a guy can spend $30,000 on a bike, but more people are interested in something cheaper.
Yeah, yeah.
More you can get it.
Yeah,
so you're more into it.
That's what I like about 80s and 90s bikes as well, because to me they're accessible. So, you know, I mean, when I retire, and I only have to kind of think about me. I mean, my wife and I have spoken about this. Maybe we'll sell the house and buy a camper van.
Oh yeah, those are cool.
You know what I mean? But these kind of decisions, and to be fair, you do. It wouldn't surprise me. Obviously, I've got no way of knowing, but it wouldn't surprise me if the owner of this bike is in his 60s. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how it is. People who've got 30,000 to spend on a motorbike, you know, usually don't have any dependents, or you know, don't have so many outgoings.
Yeah. Which bike do you think fits you better? If you had to purchase one right now, you didn't have your Katana.
There's no limits to the money. See, this is the thing. It's happening to me again, because my heart is saying the Blackbird, and it's ridiculous, because it's for the same reasons why the Katana isn't the right bike for me. So I'd probably take the Tenere, I think. Even though I've had my eye on the TDM for a while, I think I'd probably take the Tenere. But the weird one that might be my second choice might actually be this ADV scooter, just because it's so unusual. And it wouldn't be my bike forever, you know, but just for something different. I think it's an interesting looking thing, and it would actually fit the criteria for me, I think.
You know, it's not often you get a scooter that looks cool.
Yeah.
That one definitely looks cool.
I'm not going down in CCs, which is something I don't want to do. I don't want to go down in power. I want the ability to go off-road a bit, and I like something that's a bit low to the ground. And it's an interesting looking thing, isn't it? I know it wouldn't be everyone's cup of tea, but it'd certainly be a conversation piece. Yeah, I like it. Interesting, isn't it? We can see a face-off between the two legends, the Africa Twin and the Tenere. Which one is best, the Tenere or the Africa Twin? Oh, we'll edit that out, don't worry. We don't edit that out. That's awesome.
That's short.
Yeah.
All right, man. Hey, fist bump. There you go. All right, man. I'll see ya. And this is such a beautiful town. So I'm leaving the Portuguesa behind. He's gonna go home. I'm gonna go home. And just really beautiful area. This town of Góis it's worth coming here just to visit the town. And everybody's hanging out in this cafe. Up the street you have all of the festival stuff. I didn't go in because you have to pay 15 euros just to go in. I might come tomorrow, honestly, and then go to my house in Viseu. But really beautiful. There's a lot of police presence, which is kind of mind-numbing how much police there is, because there's not that many motorcyclists. Look at this, he's carrying a bunch of bags. It's a very interesting festival. I've gone to like Rolling Thunder, I've gone to a bunch of like ones in the US. Very different atmosphere. It feels family oriented, which is strange. Not strange in a bad way, but strange in a good way. And also very safe. There's police all over, directing almost non-existent traffic. I think a lot of people are camping over here in Góis. There's quite a bit of like tenting, so you have to pay to get in. And apparently over there's like some sort of music set up, and this is quite a few tents. I mean, that's kind of amazing that people have set up so many. Also keep in mind that it's free to camp just about everywhere in Portugal, so you don't have to camp here, but to get into this area you do have to pay. And most of the time it's not even worth it, at least for me. Lots of BMW GS's, lots of, look at that, that's a skate park that's turned into a camping camping area. All the bikes are coming into Góis. Kind of amazing. Tomorrow is going to be quite a popular time because most people are going to be there. That's when all the festival stuff happens. Really awesome. I mean, just look at the roads. It's getting dark, but still an awesome roadway. Oh, this is the end too. I didn't realize this was the end too. I really didn't want to get stuck riding at night in the mountains, but here it is. Luckily I have this guy in front of me who's showing me all the spots. I just have to make sure I don't hit any gravel. But he definitely knows his way. A lot of it is like using momentum, especially in the car. You don't have to worry about sliding. I like the perched villages on top of mountains. Whoa, look at that house up there. That's incredible. Damn, this is a really nice part of Portugal. Absolutely hate riding at night. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video of Góis in Portugal. Thanks for watching, and make sure you hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.